Hey Singapore, this is Manchester United legend Lee Sharp. Stay locked on with the guys on SportsZone, only on 938 Live.
From 938 Live.
This is Formula One driver Fernando Alonso.
Hi Singapore, I'm Jürgen Klinsmann.
Hi, I'm Martin Tyler.
This is Annika Sorensen.
Hi Singapore, this is Johnny Wilson. You're locked on to the best in sports. Cheers.
You're listening to Singapore's longest running and only sports talk show on radio, 16 years and still going strong. A good Saturday to you and welcome to SportsZone on 938 Live. I'm Raj Kumar and today our focus is diversified into a few topics. We'll start first with local football and talking about the grand finale of the 19th season of the Great Eastern Youths S.league. We'll then hear from a tennis legend who won 8 men's doubles Grand Slam titles and 4 mixed doubles titles. He's of course Mahesh Bhupati and I'll talk to him as the CEO of the International Premier Tennis League. That tournament is coming to Singapore in 1 month's time. We then turn the focus to the launch of the 2014 Singapore National Games. The second ever SNG began this morning and you'll hear from the chairman of the organising committee. There's also something for the sports fashionistas as we catch up with our friends from Puma and they'll expand on their latest apparels release called the Nightcat running collection. In addition, Singapore's former bowling Women's World Champion Shayna Ng brings us up to speed on the latest promotion regarding Sportsanity.sg, which is a portal to help Singaporeans with their sporting needs. And finally, our friends from Sony Singapore are giving away 2 copies of the blockbuster video game Destiny. 1 copy of the game is for the PS4 console and the other is for the PS3. So plenty to talk about, and let's start with local football. And just about 14 hours ago, a new S.league champion was crowned and they did so on the final day of the season. Both Brunei DPMM and Warriors FC were level on points at the top of the table standings, although the Bruneians had a vastly superior goal difference. And Brunei were up against the former champions Tampines Rovers at Jalan Besar Stadium, while the Warriors played host to Albrechts Niigata at the Chua Chu Kang Stadium. DPMM were looking for their first S.league title, and bear in mind they had not beaten Tampines in 6 straight matches dating back to the 2012 season. As for the Warriors, they were gunning for their first league title since 2009. It was the Warriors which drew first blood when Hafiz Rahim scored with a header in the 48th minute of play against Albrechts. And meanwhile, the score at Jalan Besar was 0-0. But in the second half, Joseph Kaplan scored in the 63rd minute to put Tampines in front. And 10 minutes later, Miljan Mudalkovic scored to put the Rovers 2 goals up. Obviously, by then, the Warriors would have already known that Brunei were 2 goals down. And the Warriors continued to push on while DPMM also went in search of the goals, and they did pull one back in the final minutes of the match at Jalan Besar, but in the end, Tampines beat DPMM 2-1 and Warriors held on for the 1-0 win. That means Warriors had won the league title with a 3-point margin of victory. And the man in charge was Alex Weaver, and as you recall, he joined the Warriors somewhat in the mid-stage of last season after his controversial departure from Hougang United. Well, let's hear now from Alex Weaver.
The moment I signed for this club, I was just focused on this club. It's a wonderful club. It really has a lot of rich history and tradition. So the Hougang experience was forgotten quite easily, to be honest. I'm just delighted that we've managed to put this club back on track, turn things around. Delighted for the players. They've been awesome this season. They really have. It's just a very good night, and I think they really deserve what they've got tonight. Really do. I've talked a lot in the final run-in about going on a run, and we did at the right time. So the players deserve a lot of credit for that. They've dealt with the pressure, they've dealt with it exceptionally well. Their focus and attention on the things that we've been working on in training has been exceptional, and congratulations to them. They really deserve it, and the fans as well. It's been a long time coming, so really pleased for them, and the club as well for giving me the opportunity to come in and bring in my own ideas. So very happy, very happy. I'm going to take the weekend off, and then I'm going to get back and sort out player contracts next week, and hopefully get those confirmed. And then literally spend a lot of time thinking about next year in the AFC Champions League, and thinking about our future next year, because we've got to start planning the pre-season. With us going into the Champions League, we most likely will have to start a little bit earlier next year. So we have to start thinking about how we're going to periodise our training. So that's going to take a lot of time and planning. But I'll take the weekend off first.
And deservedly so. And that was the head coach of the Warriors, Alex Weaver. Meanwhile, let's hear now from the captain of the Warriors, Daniel Bennett.
I don't know, just 5 minutes towards the end, I just couldn't believe it. I just wanted the game to end. And then when it ended, I don't know, I just can't believe it, really. Can't believe it. I just wish that feeling I felt right there at the end. I wish that could last, but no, everything dies down after a while, but really fantastic feeling. A lot of people deserve a lot of credit for the effort which has gone in throughout the season. And it's not by chance we won the league, you know. We work really hard. This coach really put us through the paces throughout the year. We train hard in the mornings and the evening, and in the end it's paid off. It's worth it in the end. A lot of the boys, you know, they're homesick, they struggled at times, and you know, with Nico, for example, he's a long way from his son in Argentina, and you know, he's scored 21, 22 goals. He's been outstanding, and I just feel so happy for Nico and the other foreign boys who have come, and they're away from their families, and really great from everybody.
Captain of the Warriors, Dan Bennett, of course, he was referring to his teammate Nicholas Velas, who did play a crucial role in the run-up to the title this season. And let's now get a quick reaction from our national goalkeeper and the number one custodian for the Warriors, Hassan Sani.
I cried after the final whistle blown, and I saw our substitutes celebrating. So it's amazing. I think this is my first title. I was at Tampines, but I won it as a substitute. Another year I was on the stands. So it's an amazing feeling. We believe that Tampines can put up a good show. Even last few days, I was at national team training, and I spoke to Tampines players. Well, they told me that, you know, it's up to us. We have to do our job, and they will do their job. You know, they are professionals. So I believe in them, and it's good that both results favour us.
You're listening to SportsZone on 9-3 Live, and today it's all about local football, tennis, the Singapore National Games, and so much more. You just heard from the newly crowned S.league champions in Warriors FC. Let's now hear from Steve Keane, the head coach of Brunei DPMM. And this interview, which I did, was during the live telecast of the match on Mediacorp's Octo channel. And I first asked Steve about the 2-1 loss.
I thought in the first half we controlled the game, and we probably had our best chances in the first half. We had one right before half time where a diving header or a left foot finish would have been ahead. And then the second half, a couple of individual mistakes, and we've just let it slip through our fingers. We've been great all season, but really in the last maybe 8 or 9 games, we've just too many individual mistakes, not enough clean sheets, and it's just caught up with us. We gave it a good effort, but we'll be back fighting next year.
Well, you still have one more match to go before you wrap up the season. That's next Wednesday in the third place playoff in the RHB Singapore Cup versus Tampines again. Yeah. Your thoughts ahead of that match?
Well, I mean, that's a long way away from my mind, to be honest. It was tonight we were trying to win the championship. We've been at the top of the table for most of the season, and then the most important week of the season we fall down, so we're really disappointed, but we'll pick ourselves up and look forward to the game next week.
And from the Brunei DPMM coach Steve Keane to 44-year-old Alex Durich. He, of course, came on as a substitute at the start of the second half. He did have a hand in both the goals scored by the Stags. And before this match, in the last few days, he did say that last night was his final match after 15 years in the S.league. It all began with Tanjung Pagar United in 1999. He did receive a special award before kickoff last night. It was in the form of a national jersey for his 23 goals scored in 54 appearances for the Singapore national team since he attained citizenship in 2007. The presentation was done by the FAS president, Mr. Zainuddin Nordin, along with the chairman of Tampines Rovers in Mr. Teo Hock Sing. Well, here's Alex Durich talking briefly after the match about the win.
I think we bit struggled first half, but I think after changes, I came in and we a little bit changed, push up more forward and try to score a goal. And after first goal, we kind of settled and start playing our game. And I think that we deserve it to win the game definitely tonight.
Now, you did say that this is going to be your last match, but Tampines have one more game to go next Wednesday. So you want to tell Singapore, is this your final match, or are you coming back for one more match next Wednesday?
Well, definitely this is a final match for my Singapore League. I think I can say it. Thank you so much for the all Singapore League fans and clubs I play and all teams I played. And I honestly don't know if I'll be definitely here in Jalan Besar for the third time. I'm not sure if I'll play there really. I can't answer this at the moment.
Alex Durich being elusive there. So will he or won't he play in next Wednesday's third place playoff against Brunei DPMM at Jalan Besar? We'll have to wait and see. But what a run he's had. 8 league titles, 3 Singapore Cups and more than 320 league goals. At the age of 44, Alex Durich will certainly go down as a legend in Singapore's sporting history. So Tampines finished in third. Home United 5 points behind in fourth last night after they beat Ballister Khalsa 1-0. Albrechts are also in joint fourth place with 44 points, while the Ballister Tigers complete the top 6 teams. Let's swing now over to tennis. In less than a month, the International Premier Tennis League, or the IPTL, gets underway in Manila, followed by a 3-day stopover in Singapore, then India and Dubai. This league is the brainchild of Mahesh Bhupathi, who's won 12 Grand Slam titles, and the format sees 4 groups of 8 players each. Each group comprises legends like Pete Sampras or Andre Agassi, the current singles players like Roger Federer or Novak Djokovic, and on the women's side, we might see the return of Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova to the Singapore Indoor Stadium from the 2nd to the 4th of December. So for more details on the IPTL and for more on the career of Mahesh Bhupathi, I spoke to him a few weeks ago when he was in Singapore, and I first asked the CEO of the IPTL on how he's feeling with the tournament coming down to just the final few weeks.
Excited, nervous, I guess we've been working on it for a long time now, and I was kind of looking forward to it.
Have all of your 32 players across the 4 teams, have they all been completed, the lineups, or are you still waiting for 1 or 2 more to be completed?
I think we're pretty much there. There might be another announcement in the next 10 days for one addition, but other than that, everybody's ready to go.
You've won 8 mixed doubles titles with several women, but 2 of those mixed doubles titles were with your fellow compatriot Sania Mirza. What is special about Sania that compelled you to actually partner with her at least on twice of the occasions?
So I've known Sania since she was a little kid, to be honest, and I've seen her grow up and become a successful tennis player. So it was great, playing with her. We're good friends off the court. I'm really looking for her to play in Singapore. She's playing for the Indian Aces, but the Singapore fans will have a treat when they watch her play.
With a 12-year on and off career playing with your good friend Leander Paes, can I just ask, why is Leander not in the inaugural edition of the IPTL, or is he for a future edition maybe?
Yeah, so he's supporting it in verbally. We try to get him to play, but unfortunately he's going through some issues this year which he needs to take time off the circuit to kind of sort out, and hopefully we're definitely hoping that he joins not only the league but the India team next season.
With 12 Grand Slam titles to your name, is there any sort of regret that you weren't able to become a singles player and compete for at least a top 5 or compete with the best as far as the singles division is concerned?
Yeah, I guess every tennis player would like to ideally be, competing in singles as well. But unfortunately, I had surgery on my shoulder early on in my career, and then that kind of, translated to playing full-time doubles, which, again, today I have no regrets.
Talking about the singles division, we just saw Kei Nishikori featuring in the US Open men's final a couple of months back. And how long do you think it would take for a country like India to finally see an Indian, really giving a real fight for the best in the world as far as the singles are concerned?
Yeah, I think, building a champion is not easy. Even in Kei's example, he moved to Bolletteries in Florida when he was very young. So I think, in our culture in India, it's very hard for the parents to let go of the kids, and I can see why it doesn't happen. So, for kids to go out and, live in Bolletteries or live in Spain and try to become champions, it's not ideal, but, I can say safely that we have enough talent in India. So hopefully in the near future, we will see someone coming through.
So when you say it in the near future, is it within this decade or?
Well, hopefully in my lifetime.
Okay, coming back to the IPTL, we know that it's across 4 cities. It's around 3 weeks. Could you explain briefly how does it work? I mean, we know it's 5 sets and 5 matches.
Yeah, so we have 4 teams and we have 4 cities. Each team is going to compete in every city. It's a mini round robin in every city. So in Singapore, there'll be 3 days and 6 matches. And at the end of 24 matches, there will be one winner, the champion of the league. How the format works when 2 teams play against each other, there's 5 sets of tennis. It's women's singles, men's doubles, mixed doubles, and legend singles, all first to 6. And interestingly enough, the team that wins the most number of games in the 5 sets wins the match. So every game counts. Even if you're getting beaten 5-love, you're trying to fight for that one game because it's going to count at the end tally for your team. So we're keeping it as engaging as we can till the final set.
So in short, are you saying that all the 4 teams, all the players will be in action, or it's down to the home team to decide on the order of play, and there will be some players that might be rested for...
Yeah, so we have, the way the format works is we have a full season, a group of players that are playing the full season, and then we have the icon players that includes Roger, Rafa, Novak, Andy, Serena, Maria, and Agassi, Sampras. And these guys obviously playing a certain select number of matches. So unfortunately, every country will not get to see all of them, but each country is getting to see at least 2 or 3 of them. So since this is the inaugural year, 2 or 3 I think was a great start. I think next year we would like to bring 3 or 4 of them and grow the league as it goes on.
What happens in the case that if a player has been slated to play and maybe 2-3 hours before the actual match he's unable to compete due to injury?
Well, we have, in the Singapore Slammers case, we have an amazing amount of bench strength. In the singles itself, they've got Leighton Hewitt, Thomas Burditch, Nick Kyrgios, who is an up-and-coming sensation. So, in all aspects, there is obviously alternates available as well. So, I don't think that's going to be an issue.
How has the reception been so far, now that we are, like you said, under 60 days to the inaugural launch of the IPTL?
I think it is transformed in the last 2-3 months from skepticism to excitement. I think, the fact that Roger was able to lend his name and play, even though he's only playing in India, I think gave a big boost to people who were skeptical. So, everybody's excited.
Final question, are you planning to expand beyond 4 cities in the 2015 season?
Yeah, our goal is to hopefully maybe make it to 8 cities by 2020. So the goal to next year, we would like to add 1 franchise and make sure it's a slow and sustainable growth.
And final word to the Singapore audience who was listening. What is the message as the CEO of the IPTL for them to come and support in the Lion City in the first week of December?
See, we were bringing a new format of tennis to the Singapore audience. We're having obviously world-class tennis, but at the same time there's a great aspect of entertainment to it. We have the DJ from the Miami Heat and the NBA coming. We have cheerleaders. So it's going to be a great experience for the whole family. So, obviously they should come and enjoy the whole experience, but at the same time, cheer on the Slammers because I think they're definitely one of the favorites to win the title.
And that was the CEO of the IPTL, Mahesh Bhupathi, speaking to me, and we can expect another round of world-class tennis action coming our way in a month from now. Meanwhile, time now for the news headlines, and when we resume, we'll turn the focus to the Singapore National Games. We'll hear from Singapore's former women's world 10-pin bowling champion, Shayna Ng. We'll also hear from the latest from our friends from Puma. Plus, it's your chance to win a copy of Destiny, the video game. So stick around for more on SportsZone right here on 938 Live.
Hi, Singapore, and this really is Carl Lewis, and you're locked onto the best in sports on 938 Live.
Welcome back to part 2 of SportsZone. I'm Raj Kumar, and today we turn the focus on local sports, tennis, and some tips on sports fashion and how to improve your sporting lifestyle. Now, in the first part of the show, you heard from the new S.league champions, the Warriors FC. You also heard from Mahesh Bhupathi, the CEO of the International Premier Tennis League, which is coming to Singapore in a month from now. And in this second half of the show, we'll focus on the launch of the 2014 Singapore National Games, plus the latest from our friends from Puma on their new Nightcat-powered running collection. But first, I did promise to give away 2 copies of the most expensive video game on the planet. It's $500 million was the budget for the game Destiny. It was released a few weeks ago, and today I have 2 copies to be given away. But first, let's hear now from Jonathan Toyard, who's the former editor at GameSpot. And Jonathan begins by telling us more details about Destiny.
Destiny is actually a first-person shooter created by Bungie. It's a new IP because Bungie is they're most likely done with Halo, creating Halo games and Halo series. So they want to create this entirely new sci-fi action game with different races and different ways to explore planets and different ways to team up with people. It's a very interesting shooter. The mechanics are really good, but unfortunately the story is a little bit hollow because they just point you to 3 directions and it's pretty vague. But again, like I mentioned, it's a very good action title. It's really good to team up with people. It's really good to, especially when you're at the later levels, when you're actually more powered up, to actually take on more tough missions and more cooperative sections of the game.
And is the $500 million budget that they've set aside, is that all about hype or is it an inflated budget?
It is part hype because they need to somehow get the money machine thing going so that everyone knows about Destiny. Somehow they made their money back on the first day of sales. But at the same time, I believe the money also goes to making sure the servers are prim and proper to run all over the countries. as well as making sure that the brand goes on to to continue on. Maybe there's even a sequel, or maybe there's even more expansions coming in down the line. Hopefully, Bungie and Activision with all their infinite wisdom will not actually charge these people for these extra things, but who knows? They're still a company in the end.
So based on your professional opinion, on a scale of 1 to 10, what kind of a ranking would you give Destiny?
I would give it a 7. The game has a really, really slow start, and it's really infuriating to actually play it in very long hours. But in very short bursts, as a shooter, it's actually not bad. I really like the mechanic of the game, and the music is really good, and the graphics are really good. It's just that it'll take you a while before you get to the really, really good parts, especially when it comes to co-op play, and especially when there are level 25 dungeons, which are actually better than what you come across in the campaign mode.
Level 25 dungeons, and that was Jonathan Toya, the former editor at GameSpot. So for today, we are giving away 2 copies of Destiny. The first caller through with the right answer will win the game for the PS4 console, and the second caller through wins the copy for the PS3 console. Both prizes are courtesy of our friends from Sony. And to those of you who have won prizes on SportsZone since the 13th of September, you cannot compete today. So let's give the others a chance. From the 13th of September, if you already won prizes, you cannot compete today. And the question for this morning is, what is the budget that was set aside for Destiny? What is the budget that was set aside for Destiny? Call now 66911938. That's 66911938. We've been screaming the budget for the last couple of minutes. If you were listening, you'd know the answer. All right, then, as you head to the phone lines, let's turn the attention now to sports fashion. And the apparel giants Puma have just launched a new set of apparels, which is the Nightcat-powered running collection. And this morning, I spoke to Puma's head of marketing for the Asia-Pacific region in Adrian Toy, and I first asked him to tell us about the collection and how it came about.
You know, Puma recently just launched a whole brand campaign called Forever Faster. And really, that our mission as a brand is to be the fastest sports brand. And, you know, to be committed to creativity, innovation, and to have faster products for our athletes and consumers. So this collection, the Nightcat Powered, is exactly that. It's a range that Puma has provided consumers that would actually run early in the morning or late at night where the cooler conditions. So that's why these products have come about.
To summarize, who does it actually benefit?
Yeah, you know, Raj, the products are really for people who run early in the morning or later at night where there's lower light condition, but definitely a better time in the night where it's a lot cooler. So, you know, to run safely on the streets, the products actually reflect, or even some of them have a LED light in there so that it protects you and keeps you safe on the roads when you are running.
What exactly does the Nightcat collection comprise? There's
a few key products. The first key product we have is the Mobium Elite Ride. It's an award-winning shoe where it has a Mobium band which helps you, enhances your propulsion at toe-off, and also has a wingless chassis and a 4-foot expansion pod, which really helps runners, you know, get into the mid-foot strike and also run better in that condition. And also we have a Fast 600, which is a shoe that really improves the natural gait of a consumer and provides a better natural ride. The third product we have there is also a Puma Nightcat Powered Jacket, which is a tech jacket which has reflective materials and also a fiber optic cable that goes through the back and the back of the arms, which also has a light that keeps it's lighted and keeps you lighted up for the real run at night. And the last one is really the Nightcat Powered Backpack, which also has reflective material and LED light that keeps powered up while you run.
Now, based on all of the components that you just mentioned, how much would you say it would cost the consumer to get the key essentials of the collection in terms of US dollars?
You know, the product started at about $179 for the Nightcat Fast 600 and also the Mobium Elite as well, which you can get at our Puma retail stores or selected partner outlets.
All right, Adrian, before you go, what's next for Puma for the rest of the 2014 calendar year and perhaps maybe the start of the 2015 season?
You know, with for our new brand positioning for Faster, we're looking at more innovative products, more design products to help the consumers in our marketplace. We'll be launching a series of new running products. Unfortunately, can't give you the name and what it does yet, but we'll definitely keep you posted. But we'll be launching it early next year.
And there was Adrian Toy, who's based in Hong Kong, and he's Puma's head of marketing for the Asia Pacific region, and he was talking to me about their latest release, which is the Nightcat powered running collection. All right, time to announce our contest winners. We asked you a few minutes ago about what is the budget that was set aside for Destiny, the video game. Of course, the answer is $500 million, the most expensive budget for a gaming project in the history of gaming. So our two winners, in Terry Yao, he takes home the PS4 version of the game, and Joe Tan, he takes home the PS3 version of the game. Congratulations to Terry and Joe. You'll be hearing from us soon, and thanks very much to our friends from Sony who give away the prizes. And for more details on the game, go on to www.destinythegame.com. That's destinythegame.com. Let's turn the focus to local sports, and this morning marked the start of the 2014 Singapore National Games. This 9-day event, which will see participants from the 5 zonal districts in Singapore compete across 12 sports, and for the total prize money of $200,000. Well, I spoke to Mr. Lai Chin Kwang, who's the chairman of the organizing committee of the 2014 SNG, and I first asked him this morning about the stadium run and how many people were part of it.
The race ran very well. We were blessed by a shower in the middle of the first wave, and every runner took in very positively. They enjoyed themselves. There were a lot of competitive runners really pushing themselves and going for a timing. This is the first race we run around the stadium at Sport Hub at a 100 plus promenade. The distance for the final round of the 888 is about 4.2 to 4.4. Everyone actually ran 5 rounds, and they were actually having a great time throughout.
5 rounds outside the circumference of the stadium. Now, I'm assuming of the 12 sports for the SNG, the stadium run is the one with the most number of competitors, or?
Yes, this one we have about 1,000 competitors that took part, various ages from men's open, seniors, masters, with also the juniors and ladies.
Now, Mr. Lai, in general, over the next 9 days of competition, just how many participants have you targeted for the second edition of the SNG?
We have a very heartwarming response. We have about 8,000 participants for the whole entire SNG 2014. And this was spread over all the 12 sports, with cross athletics and road run having the most.
And what are one or two of the key lessons which SportSG and the other organizers learned from the very first SNG in 2012?
I think one of the key things that we learned from 2012, as well we've done this year, is we created a Division A and a Division B. The Division A and B allow a different playing field to compete at the competency level. The A allow the more professional and more serious athletes and competitors to compete, while B allow those who are just playing and beginners, and also those who are playing for a while but not at the level of the competition at a more professional level.
Is it then safe to say that this year it's purely about the members of the public and none of our professional or national athletes competing alongside or even against the public?
We have 5 of the sports that cater for some of the cadre athletes and the professional athletes to take part, and that's why they are competing at the Division A, while the general public compete at the Division B. This is really to allow also to level the competition at a more higher level, and again at the same time allowing the public to have the opportunity to compete in a more competitive environment.
Okay, Mr. Lai, before you go, what is your message to Singaporeans regarding their support of the participants who are representing the 5 zonal districts of the country?
I would like to say a big thank you to them. I would like to encourage all Singaporeans to continue to go active, join Active SG, be part of the Live Better Through Sports for all of us as fellow Singaporeans.
And there was Mr. Lai Chin Kwang, who's the chairman of the organizing committee of the 2014 Singapore National Games. He was speaking to me after this morning's stadium run, and for more details, you can check them out on Facebook. Time now for Traffic Watch, but when we return, we'll hear from Singapore's former women's bowling world champion Shayna Ng and what she's been up to lately. So time now for Traffic Watch.
Hi Singapore, this is Liverpool legend John Barnes, and you're cruising with the guys on 938 Live Sports.
Welcome back to the final stretch of SportsZone, and it's now time to catch up with the latest from our Asian Games gold medalist Shayna Ng. She's now an entrepreneur as well, as earlier in the year, she and two other friends spent around $40,000 to open a website or a web portal to benefit local Singaporean sports enthusiasts. And I spoke to her just this morning for an update on the portal, which is known as Sportsanity.
It's been really good, I must say. It's been actually over 9 months since we launched. And I'm actually very happy to say that, the portal is performing better than we expected, especially with this Premier Card now. Numbers are growing at a pace that is manageable, and we are glad to, be able to provide a place that can serve the community. So, us being enthusiasts ourselves, as long as we can serve the people, whether be it, 1 person or 1,000 or a million, that's enough for us. So we are happy that it's been good so far.
Now, before we talk about the card, what are some of the positives or the negatives that you've learned or experienced so far in having set up Sportsanity?
When we first launched Sportsanity, it's literally like a baby, at its infant stage, where you have to look after it day and night to make sure that, you keep it running and stuff like that. And I guess the biggest part that has changed would be my lifestyle as a person, because I'm coming from a sports background, and before Sportsanity, I'm not very aware of managing and running the operations of the business. But right now, I have actually learned how to manage a bit of the finances, and doing marketing and management, and basically just how a business runs lah. So now I'm more aware of it in a business perspective, and that is actually the biggest learning point for me.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, tell us about this latest promotion that you have ongoing with the Premier Card. Who does it benefit, and what are the costs involved?
Basically, we are proud to announce that we have launched this new Sportsanity Premier Card. So basically, this Premier Card is like a discount card, making sports more affordable to the people in Singapore. So what happens is you can go on to sportsanity.com.sg, and this card will be there for you to purchase. It's going out at $25 for the public. And with this card, it's so hard to explain in just one sentence. Basically, it's a card made affordable for everybody. And with this card, you can enjoy discounts at more than 80 sports merchants in Singapore. And we try to cover it at all angles, meaning that, it's not just retailers, but you can also enjoy discounts when you look for coaches, when you look for the nutrition side, as well as gyms. So this card basically gives a all-rounded support for sports enthusiasts. Basically, it is targeted more for the runners because, it will be catered to them. And some of the brands that are with us are, like, just to mention a few of them, is 2XU, Gymbox, Reebok, and those are just some of the brands, but there are a lot more.
Now, Shayna, who are some of the clients that have already come on board with this promotion?
So right now, we sell it to both the general public and to businesses. But for the public, we focus particularly on the running group and a couple of other sports. Because if you're a runner, I highly recommend it because it will come. You're really safe across the board because this card. I'm pretty sure that you will get the money back after 1 to 2 use. And, we actually surprisingly have also been the response has been really great for the corporate side because, there are a lot of corporate companies that buy our card for a multitude of different reasons. Because mostly they buy for their employees as it is a low cost, and it comes across as a way to motivate and encourage their employees to lead a healthy lifestyle. And there are also a lot of companies, buying for their clients as well. So, there are some of the companies right now with us, SMG, SIA, and, Fortune 500, and, those are just some of the names that we have on board right now. and many that are in ongoing discussion. So it's not just to cater to the public, it's also if there are companies out there that would like to purchase this, for their employees, it gives employees more benefits in this way.
Now, from the Premier card onto you, back from the Asian Games, and congratulations on the gold medal in the team event. But with 2 more months till the end of 2014, what's left for you in terms of bowling?
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, bowling will still go on. Like I mentioned, bowling is still my first priority, and Sportsanity I will do whatever I can for Sportsanity in my free time. But I mean, coming back from the Asian Games, we have actually been taking a short break. So I've been having a 2 weeks break now, and I just started training last week, and we will be going to Korea, Daejeon, in 2 weeks' time, and Malaysia the following week. So that's just what I have in store right now and what I'm training for. And then anything else we'll have to wait for the federation to let us know.
And there was Singapore's former world 10-pin bowling champion Shayna Ng speaking to us about Sportsanity and its latest promotion. Okay, we have a very few minutes left to wrap up for this show, so I'd like to leave you with a reminder of a prominent date in sports history. It was the 30th of October 1974. This event took place in Zaire, which is now known as the Republic of Congo, and just 2 days ago, it was the 40th anniversary of that event. What was it? The BBC has more.
There were mosquitoes so big you could ride them. Crocodile were floating in the backyard.
I'm so fast, I can run through a hurricane and don't get wet.
Then about the 7th round, I hit him so hard in the side, and he fell over on me, and I thought he was going to fall, and he whispered in my ear, "That all you got, George?"
Yes, to this day, the Rumble in the Jungle remains one of the greatest fights of all time, as Muhammad Ali took the world title from George Foreman in Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of Congo. Foreman has been recalling his experience of losing that night and admits even now it's still one of the most embarrassing moments of his life.
I just couldn't believe I had lost a world title. And to the guy that was supposed to be the easiest. Remember, I'd knocked Kenny Norton out, who had really beaten him twice. Clean out Frazier. No, this was going to be an easy boxing match for me. How do you lose such a match? It's the most embarrassing moment in my life. Remember, I'd gone to Africa and people were like, in the airport, "That's Foreman." And they wouldn't even look at me in the eye. Then I came back through the same airport and they were, "It's going to be all right." From pride to pity. That's devastating. I'd get into a room, I would be ashamed to be alone with girls. I'm thinking, they know that I'm not the man I was supposed to be. It was a strange undertaking for me.
And that was the BBC and George Foreman bringing us to the end of this edition of SportsZone. I'm Raj Kumar. Have a great weekend. Take care and bye for now.